Hello. How are we doing today? Doing all right? So TikTok, I haven't went live for a long time, so you're gonna sit in on my YouTube show today, okay? And YouTube, hey, same schedule, same that time. How have you been doing? How you doing? How you guys doing? You okay? I know Mercury's still doing its retrograde, and I know Venus is still doing its retrograde. We also have Neptune just moved into Aries. That's going to add some flavor to us. And I think as a whole wide world, we have to start using our intuitions and listening to our higher selves. hmm Yeah, because at this particular point in existence, there's nothing standing in our way. There really isn't. It's a mind game at best. And when you have retrogrades going on in planets, it's the universe talking to us. It's the universe saying to us, you may want to review this. Now, I got some notes I want to share today. And I want to talk to you guys about the candle business. You guys know Candles by Ari is my company. But what I don't tell a lot of people is that company is made specifically for my clients because they were in such need of taking something with them when we started this journey that I used my sense of smell to create a candle line to help stay calm and cool, because that's what I do in my sessions. We would actually burn candles while we were in session talking about what we need to talk about so that we can all grow. And let me tell you something. These candles are not for everyone. I can tell you right now, they're for very special people who understand what handmade and what energy can do for you. Because the affirmations that are on each of the candles works. It actually works. This month for Candles by Ari, we are featuring the orange. This is the creative candle. Creative. Normally it's $34.99. It's on sale for $24.99 through my website. So go to candlesbyari.com. Okay. And these candles, they're all handmade, first and foremost. And secondly, you have to be ready to affirm for what you want to happen in your life. These candles help soothe that. They soothe that. And I know because I've seen my candles help my clients over the years. Hey guys, thanks for joining me on the YouTube. Appreciate it. So go to candlesbyari.com and check out my candle collection. Each candle has a specific color that is in my color meaning page so that it can help you understand, what you're trying to create. And the affirmations, I'm not going to say it. You guys have to get the candle. But the affirmation goes with the scent that creates that energy around you. So definitely check this out. So because of my love for my clients, I developed scents and fragrances because I'm very sensitive, you might say. I can smell, pick up, and sense things that other people may not care about, which is fine. They don't have to care about it. But for my well-being, I prefer to be around loving, positive, balanced energy, because if you're not balanced, it's hard for somebody to balance with you. Have you ever had that moment where you are at a get together or a gathering and somebody will walk in and the whole energy shifts, right? Like everything shifts. Like all of a sudden, maybe you guys were in a good space and everybody's really cool. Then all of a sudden this one energy walks in and just screws up the whole thing. Oh, thank you, Ronnie. Thank you. That's one of my clients. True testimonials. She loves them. But energetically, something just happened, but it's not something where somebody slaps somebody or somebody dropped the dish. It's not that kind of, it's just an energy shift. Well, as you get more in tune with yourself, you get more in tune when that energy shift is happening. So you can make a decision on how to shift with it or against it before it drives your ass crazy. See, everybody has a longitude and a latitude when you're born. That is called a natal chart. Some people call it a birth chart. In that, you decide to pull certain energies. Like right now, there are children being born right as we speak, every second, with 2 planets in retrograde in their chart. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean they're going to be bad or worse. It just means they're going to have a different aspect than some people. And they may have luck when other people don't. It just, the possibilities of what the universe has given us is mind-boggling. But you have to get in tune with it, and you have to pay attention to what you're saying and what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So I created programs because here in Los Angeles before the pandemic, there was meeting spots. There was, a lot of networking, lots of parties going on. I mean, it was just a whole different set of circumstances. So as far as, having to advertise and bring in business, I really didn't need to. I was word of mouth. And even being on the net, let me tell you guys something. To have integrity on the internet and maintain your image and likeness and be able to deliver what you say is not an easy feat. And you may have to jump through a couple of hoops till you find your formulas, because that's the whole other thing. You guys are connecting with me right now. It's a direct impact. So you guys get to make choices right now on energetically. Do you want to follow me? Do you want to come to one of my meditation classes? Do you need to get a candle to calm your ass down? Do you need a one-on-one session? And I got a new program because I know some of you guys would like to have some weekly information about your sign, your particular zodiac sign, some tidbits, some insights. So I have a new program called The Gap, Guided Astrology Program. And I call it The Gap because that's what we go through. It's like you're trying to maintain one thing and you have to keep balancing with this thing. And in between is this gap of how the fudge am I going to pull this one off? How the heck is this going to happen? Can you relate? Hey, thank you, TikTok. Appreciate you joining. We have to create those opportunities starting in our minds first. Because before anything can manifest in front of you, you have to be able to see it. And that takes courage. It takes a lot of courage. Because no one can guide you and tell you. They can only suggest. And I mean that. Even if somebody says they're guiding you, they're giving you suggestions at best. Because we can't control another person. That's the truth. Hi. And energetically, guys, I think if we could just focus on self and being the best version of ourselves, we actually have a chance at doing some good stuff down here. Because it doesn't take that much of an effort to be kind. It actually takes more of an effort to be mean-spirited. Kindness we have received since we came down here. Maybe not perfect for everyone, but there is a level of people that want to be kind. They don't come to the table wanting to start shit. Not everybody wants to do that. Some people do have that energy, and we bless them and find, they send away to their native nothingness because can't handle it. It's not our thing. And that's not being mean to bless someone. Guys, one of the things we have is the ability to give someone light and love, even if they don't know it, even if they don't feel it. Look, just like I just told you, when you walk in a room and you can feel the energy shift, it's the same thing when you send love and light out to the world. You're actually creating a vortex, an energy around you. And once you know how to do that on a regular basis and you make it your priority to do that for yourself every day, can you imagine how better your life could be? I mean, let's think about it for a second. Do you want to stay in negativity? Hello, Lily. Thanks for joining. Or do you want to move toward positivity? That's the gap. That's the gap. And through astrology, affirmations, aromatherapies, these are my techniques I've used and I've seen manifestation. I am a walking testimony to divine design and manifestation. Being true to yourself, being faithful and honoring you and your ancestors and where you come from, that's a privilege, you guys, and that's an honor. Nobody can take that away from you. Nobody, unless you give it away. Mm-hmm. So let's try to be a better version of ourselves today. We are in a retrograde. And like I said, did you guys get the blog? Because my blog got in the top 25 from the feed spot. My blog considered one of the best, top 50 or something like that. Anyway, if you haven't got the blog, get the blog. Go to candlesbyari.com. Join the newsletter. I'm telling you, oh my goodness. We're doing inventories and getting packages together and bonus bundles and stuff like that for you guys, because I realize that we all need help on a regular basis. We all need help on a regular basis. And it is not something that we can act like it's not happening. When somebody's hurt, and you can feel it. Okay? But at the same time, thank you, Ronnie. I know you read your affirmation. We have to take care of self, guys. You got to take care of self, because you can't do anything unless you put that oxygen mask on you first. And I know that's kind of counterintuitive for people who are used to giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, and then worrying and worrying and worrying and worrying and worrying, right? You go from one extreme to the other. Well, that's the gap. That's the gap that I'm telling you about. So definitely follow me, check this out, and come to a meditation class. We have them twice a month live, and I have an on-demand library, because we've been doing this, like I said, for over 20 years now. And I've seen it. I've seen how divine design work. I've witnessed when things are flowing together. My clients have witnessed it. I mean, it's like, but we have to be able to keep our mental and spiritual well-being intact. So my job as a spiritual life coach is to inspire, to keep reminding you that you are blessed, and give you permission to do the things you can do, instead of like holding yourself back and finding fault with yourself, and just really never ever appreciating the stuff that you do right. I know some of my people can relate to this. You just constantly are down on yourself, and sometimes shit happens. It hurts, but life's in full progress, and we don't have choice over that. But if you learn how to balance with it, then you got a good shot. So I'm going to give you a little tidbits on kind of what's going on in astrology. Like I said, okay, so Mercury's in retrograde. I'm looking at my notes, so bear with me. And it goes direct on Monday, April 7th, 2025. Now, the thing about Mercury going direct, okay, it's going to be in a water sign because it's in Pisces right now. But we're in Aries time. And Neptune just moved into Aries. I know that sounds like a lot of information, but it basically means we're still going to want to continue to push through with whatever we've been trying to do. And the energy is going to get stronger. Like, you may have had some postponements, but if you could step fast and just do your homework and stay on top of you, loving you, you're getting a breakthrough. Okay, especially the water signs. That's my Cancers, my Pisces, and my Scorpios. Because there is so much water coming down right now that you guys are in a position where you just need to clear the mind and stop overextending yourself. Yeah, stop overextending yourself. Because water tends to want to be there and absorb everybody's emotions. And right now, I need you to back up. I need you to tune into yours. I'm just making a strong recommendation because you got a lot of stuff going on and you need to spend a little time processing that. Okay, so that's for water signs. Now, my fire signs, this is really interesting to me. It's really interesting to me because when you have fire and water, that's two elements that's considered a square, like they don't get along. But like anything, where there's a need, necessity is the mother of invention, there's a way. So with fire, And this is for my Aries and my Sagittariuses and my Leos. Guys, this is time for you to think through your actions before you speak. Because your tongue is sharp, fire. Your tongue is sharp. Okay? You can say some things and just pierce through somebody's soul right now. Neptune just moved into Aries. So that takes that sensitivity of Pisces and throws that whip ass of Aries on top of it. So it will be strong, fast, and boom in your face. So I'm just asking from my fire signs, my Leo, my Sagittarius, my Aries, especially my Aries. Just kind of, just a little bit, just a tad. Can you? Can you try? Because with Jupiter, which is usually a fire, that's a fire planet, right? Being in Gemini, it's opposite sign. The mouth is sharp. I mean, have you not noticed how much BS is coming through media right now? And how much doo-doo is being hurled? And you got to do your own homework, guys. Don't take my word for it. Make sure you check sources that are valid. That's what I do. Because we have this thing that I'm using right now that gives you access to information at your fingertips. Please use it. Use it. Don't be a victim of ignorance just because you don't want to know. Don't do that. It's not attractive. Makes you look stupid. You're not stupid, right? Right? Okay. So let's do our own homework a little bit and just follow up, especially my fire. Because like I said, you got a very, very, very sharp ass tongue. And you could hurt some people that you love and then you won't be able to take it back. All right, so that's my little fire. Now, my earthies, that's my Virgos, my Tauruses, and my Capricorns. Okay. Oh my goodness, hold on, looking at my notes. Look at my notes. Okay. Earth is being shook because the routines are changing, right? Saturn's in Pisces, Uranus is in Taurus, Aquarius is in, Pluto. I mean, it's all like, So for my earth signs, this is a time for you to be a little bit more like lenient with yourself because you're going to want to stay in an order. You're going to want certain things and you're not going to get them at this time. And it's not because the universe is like harboring any ill feelings or don't want you to have. It's mostly because they're trying to get you just to trust the process. Just trust the process because there's things happening around you that will affect you, but not immediate. And you need to see how they're going to play out before you, run in there and volunteer and throw yourself under the gasoline and stress yourself out. I mean, go get your nails done. Go for a walk on the beach. Go sit in the park, Earth. You guys need to ground with the Earth. So maybe find a nice park or a nice area that's quiet and safe and just go sit in nature. I mean, we're fortunate here in Los Angeles, California, because we do have oceans, we have mountains, we have seas, we have deserts, we got snow. Okay, there's a point in time in here where you can go see all the different elements in one day. That's some amazing shit. Okay, so earthy, my Tauruses, my Capricorns, my Virgis. And Virgie, it's fine. I know you've been a little bit more nerve-wracked because the retro mainly hits, Mercury retrograde, mainly hits Virgo and Gemini. And Virgo is an earth sign, Gemini is an air sign. So it's two different elements, but it's ruled by the same planet. So energetically speaking, that's why I have a yellow candle going right now. If you look up at the top over here, because I want to make sure my communications is clean and crisp with no caffeine and that we get this party started. Okay, so that's my earth. And my air signs. That's my Libras, my Geminis, and my Aquariuses. Aquariuses, you're going through major transformation in general. Just because Pluto being in Aquarius and then Uranus, your ruling planet, being in Taurus. So you got all of this abundance coming towards you. When I say abundance, I mean opportunities for you to take what you're thinking and actually manifest it. Because the air is our intellect in theory, right? Every element has a particular thing it rules. And when I look at the Libra, Gemini, Aquarius conglomeration, just as a whole, they're learning how to effectively communicate in a better way. Better way. Now, what is better? It just depends on your definition. I personally think God's given us opportunities through all these wonderful medias to sift through, to do your continuous learning, even when you're not in a classroom. The classroom is in your heart, it's in your spirit. That's why sometimes when people go to incarcerations, they come out with degrees because they use that time to focus on their studies to learn something, to better themselves on the inside. Well, you don't have to go to prison to do that. You just have to put that as a part of your routine. Once again, that goes into the gap. My weekly reports will give you a little status with some suggestions, some fun, okay? It won't be more than 20, 30 minutes. I'm not going to go long. And I'll do 2 live so we can interact a month. And we have an intro price going on right now for $9.99. After that's going to go up to a regular monthly of $29.99. And that's on a reoccurring. You can cancel anytime. But the difference is that with the gap, you get to interact with me. And it's the funnest way. Like I said before, in LA, we had so many get-togethers, so many things going on that I never thought about, connecting and that sort of thing. And now, since I'm getting more and more comfortable with you guys here on the net, I can see now we can have direct communications for those who need it, those that need it. And I think we all need a little love and inspiration. I know I do. I do. And so this is an extension of what I would do with a client. Now, it's a generalization, the session, because I have over 500 people in my database that I base my information on. And I got a little bit of every sign. I got a little Cappy, a little Virgo, a little Pisces, a little Scorpio. So I have enough variety where I can pull a sample for what's going on right in the middle. Okay? So definitely, and I'll leave the link below. Check it out because it just came out. So for my air signs, it is going to make you move in a different way. You may have to show people, literally do presentations, actually go through and get the paperwork signed. It is talking about physical manifestation, air. Physical manifestation, which doesn't come without physical labor. But you could do this. Like I said, intellectually, my air signs are brilliant right now. The information that they're putting out, the things that they are picking up are mesmerizing. But you have to be able to convey it. See, that's the little kick. You've got to be able to convey it. And if you can't convey it, it gets a little weird, a little bit. Mm-hmm. So air, I would just really, really, really stick to your guns on your meditations, on your affirmations, whatever you do to relax and to continuously bring yourself back to that place of center, back to that place of everything's fine, I'm going to be fine. Do you know why they tell people who are ever wounded, be it in battle, accidents, anytime, and you see it on TV all the time? They always say to the person, you're going to be all right, stay with me. Because we need that connection when we're going through trials and tribulations. You need someone to say, stay with me, I got you. Because you want to believe that. And if you believe it, you will receive it in your life. But you got to have that faith, that conviction, and the wherewithal. Because with great anything comes responsibilities. That's just the way it goes. So you'll get $1 million and do what? You get $1 million, right? How do you manage it? Where do you keep it? Is it all in cash? Did you put some in the bank? Which bank? Is it a reputable bank? Like I said, with everything that grows, there's also things that must change with that growth. And that's why it's so important to go in here, listen to your power. That's one of the things I love about my guided meditation classes is that in that class, and I've seen hundreds of people do this, they find a relaxation. They find a peace. Just a symbiotic, everything's going to be okay moment. And if you can create those moments, even if it's just once a week, you're going to find that balance because that's what you're drawing to yourself, like a magnet. And I have I have seen people in meditation come out with a whole new perspective on their lives because they just needed a moment just to sit and deep brag, like just decompress, let go, get out of your own way. And it's guided. So all you have to do is listen to my voice. Just listen to my voice and let the energy take you. And that's what co creation looks like. You're asking the universe, they're hearing you, and they're responding to you. It don't get no better than that, guys. Okay? So I would suggest, like I said, you go to Candles by Ari. Take a look at the website. Like I said, the GAP program just started. We just dropped it this month. I'm very proud. It's all going to be done through Zoom. So once you become a member, you will be getting emails from me with the link to the Zoom so that you can get your information. And like I said, twice a month, I will go live through the Zoom link. And once again, all those are recorded because this on demand thing is becoming like real handy because people that miss some of the sessions, like with the meditation class, they miss it. They'll just, they've already pre-registered, ask me, hey, can you send me a copy? And I send them a link and they get to listen to it as much as they want, hmm which is very soothing and very comforting because sometimes you need that consistency for everything to fall into place. That consistency, guys, is priceless. It's not something that comes easy because you do have to work, right? For your balance, for your intellect, especially if you have children or additional responsibility. I think artists, singers, writers, dancers, producers, anybody that's creating, even artists of, like artistry of candle making, they have to go within their beings to create this art, to bring it out to the world. And maybe the world will approve, maybe the world won't. But it takes a lot of courage just to conjure up and then present what you're trying to do to people that may or may not like it. So you have to be really, not just thick skinned, you have to be like a true believer in yourself because everybody wants to be liked, everybody wants to be loved. But in order for that to happen, we have to like ourselves first. Okay? You got to create your own inner blessings. Oh, thank you, William. Thanks for the roses. Appreciate it. Okay? But you got to continue to do that work. Affirmations, aromatherapy, I got you on the astrology because there's trauma. Okay? There is trauma that does exist when something happens to you, especially when you're a little person. You take all that stuff in. You don't know why. You just saw it, and that's what you mimic. That trauma does come up. It shows up in your relationships. It shows up in your workspace. It shows up in how you become a friend or not friend to people. And with that trauma, because that's a part of your core, it could make you or hinder you. It just depends on how you use it. Well, a lot of times with trauma, you don't stop to sit in the uncomfortableness of it because it's uncomfortable. Nobody wants to deal with pain. Otherwise, I have a really good friend who just had a knee surgery, and mm, it is kicking her ass. And she said it. If they told me how painful this was, she said it was more painful knee surgery than having a baby. That's some shit. That's some shit. Okay? Because I've known people that only did one of their knees and then wouldn't do the other one. And as they've gotten older, their wear and tear starts kicking in. So, when we're trying to manifest, we also have to remember we got to stay in a blessed state of mind. Because, like I said, my friend, she's going through it, but she's in a good spirit because she chose to do it. You see what I'm saying? So she's not blaming and harboring. Yes, she's in excruciating pain. Absolutely. I check in on her nightly. But she knows why she's there, if that makes any sense. Like she knows what the end game is. So she's willing to put that time on allowing that to manifest. And that is where the gap is. She is literally putting her body through a change so in the next 3 to 6 months, she will have freedoms in ways that she hasn't had in a while. And she won't be in pain because her knees were bothering her. So when we start dealing Hey D, thanks for joining. And we start getting in there and uncovering our gifts, because the universe does give you gifts, but you got to acknowledge them. You got to look for the things that are working. You got to look for the things that are working. And when in doubt, go back to the basics, check in with me, follow me, like me, set up a one on one. Because your longitude and your latitude in your chart gives the base of where you started from and the energy that's available. I just say available, you don't have to use it. You do not have to use the energy in the way that maybe traditionally people would expect you to. Maybe, maybe not. It's up to you. But you have it available should you need it. And that's what the universe does. It just says, hey, you want this energy? Here you go. You may decide at some point it's not your cup of tea. Just not that interesting. That's fine. But it's yours to do with as you see fit, good or bad. I know that's a booger bear, ain't it? Because you can't blame nobody. No, you can't say somebody made me do this. You have to own it. So whatever decisions you make, especially when you start getting aligned with your divine design, baby, let me tell you, even if you try to get off the boat, say you decide to change your mind, it is not that easy. Good things keep coming your way because you put energy out there. I have a client who has babysitting, daycare, and that business keeps growing. She has a waiting list. She's exhausted. Sometimes she doesn't even want to do it, but she's put so much energy in that direction that God just keeps blessing her and blessing her and blessing her. And that's what you want, your cup to runneth over, guys. Cup runneth over, where you have more than enough from expected and unexpected sources. So, Mercury retrograde ends on Monday, April 7th. Is that right? Yes. Yes. And Venus retrograde goes direct on Saturday, April 12th. So that's like a little, like 4 or 5 days later, something like that. They're both in Pisces. And you know how we love me some Pisces. So with that said, let me see. Check the charts really quick. Yeah, with that said, I would just really pay attention to what's going on internally. If there's something that's bothering you, if something doesn't feel right, explore that. Explore it. Don't be dismissive of what spirit shows you. Don't assume that everything's silly. And if you want greatness in your life, then be that great person now, not later. Show up for yourself now. Make yourself feel good. Take yourself out for a drink or do something nice for yourself. Like I said, earth signs, and I think anybody that's got any earth in their chart, a lot of it, I don't have a lot of earth. Got one planet in Virgo. That's pretty much it. Um, they need to touch the ground more. You need to go hiking. That's my Virgos, my Capricorns, and my Tauruses. You need to do something physical to ground. Okay. Like I said, we're lucky we have beaches and mountains and parks, so we can take our pick. But wherever you are, just spend 10 minutes. You can even sit in the backyard of your house. Just sit and just be present for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. What could it possibly hurt? Okay. And breathe. Just breathe. Now, I've created a line of affirmation aromatherapy candles to help you on your journey. We do have feature candles. We have candle class combinations. We have candle specials so that you can have your candles on a monthly basis. We got subscriptions. We got so much good stuff that you guys need to pay attention. And we're just getting better and better and better because I want to get better and better and better. And with this next program, I finally feel like it's there to help you guys hear me and keep that positive information running through you. Because that's the charge. That's the challenge right there, is staying positive in the midst of so much adversity. And some of it is just not fair. It's just simply not fair. But I do know, and I know this for a fact, no weapon formed against me and you shall prosper. If you're doing what you're doing and you're taking care of business and you're taking care of self and you're doing the right things, then you shall be fine. Yes, you may have anxieties. Yes, you may go through some ups and downs. That's all part of the course. And like I said, I have plenty of ways for us to connect so that you can stay in that positive, balanced, self-soothing. It does take work. Got to put some effort. Got to invest. You're going to have to purchase products. You're going to have to come to class. You may have to have a session with me. No, you do need a session with me one-on-one to figure out what's going on within you. It's all on my website, candlesbyari.com, or spiritualcoachingwitharimac.com, because we got the Manifestation Bootcamp. We're going to be doing that later in the year, bringing back some of that program. So how do I say this? Trauma exists. Your core is going to respond no matter how intellectual you are. If something's bothering you, your body's going to talk to you. Meditations is the best way to start. And you could do that now just by taking some deep breaths and just relaxing. Just nice deep breath. And make it easy. Make it beautiful. You don't have to go crazy. Crazy is not required. Sometimes it's already there. Okay, so you don't have to push the envelope. So energetically, as we get ready to start the second quarter of 2025, I hope that you guys are finding prosperity. I hope you're finding new people, new loves, because it's definitely opportunity time. Remember, our population's getting smaller. So things that once were, like I was looking at this story on YouTube actually, and it was about how, I think it's in Japan, they have all of these houses in these villages where people have just left because to inherit something over there is very, very expensive, and most of the places are falling apart. So you're inheriting a big, burden because to insure it and rebuild it. So they're getting a surplus of homes now because the population's shrinking. People are getting older. So who knows what that could become? I mean, right now it's probably a little bit of an issue because some of the neighborhoods look like they have just completely fallen apart. But who's to say this won't be inspiring for a new group to come through and take, better care of it or help it grow and establish more community? Who knows? The possibilities are endless, guys. But we have to use our imaginations. We have to be open to what the universe has given us because we're not international anymore. I think we're universal. I really do. Because I can tell you, I've seen the miracles. I've witnessed myself things happening when nobody expected to happen. The universe's flow, it's beyond our comprehension. So as I get ready to end this live session today, I want to leave you guys with some positive thoughts. Over this next couple of days, I'd like you to spend some time thinking about what you enjoy. Just what do you enjoy? Doesn't have to be about money, doesn't have to be about competition. Just what do you enjoy doing? What makes you happy? What little thing can make your day oh so beautiful? And I'll give you an example. For me, it was being a mother to my young daughter. Just having her come home and being there when she arrived and listening for her day and her giving me little presents she made at school. Those were the most beautiful times of my life. And of course, fall in love with my husband, which didn't work out, but it was fun while it lasted. And we created a beautiful child. Beautiful. Do I have any regrets? No, not really. Would I do it again? Probably. Could I, if I can make some improvements? Hell yes. But that's neither here nor there. There's nothing we can do about the past. All we can do is let it go and learn from it. So I'd like you to spend some time the next couple of days just reminding yourself of what it is that you like, that you enjoy. I mean, we're in retrograde. Why not use this information to revisit another time in your life or reassess some things that's happened to you? Just saying. Now, I want you to know Spirit loves you. You are blessed. And I need you to remember that. Because sometimes we overlook it and think it ain't no big deal. It is a very big deal. It is a very big deal. If you got up and no one had to help you, that's a big deal. If you're listening to this broadcast and nobody's dinking around with you and you're in a safe place, that's a blessing. Okay? Now we're going to have meditation class the second and fourth Sunday of this month. Oh, I'll put the dates. I caught my throat. I'll put the dates in the information below. If you have any questions, okay, if you're not sure of what to do, instant message me. Just instant message me if you have a question that's simple that I can answer. Not too crazy, because like I said, with this retrograde being in full effect, with Mercury and Venus being in retrograde in Pisces, I just feel like it's a time for you to reevaluate, especially what you love, with Venus and Mercury both being in Pisces. And that Aries sun sign is like the beautiful time, because Aries does rule self, the head, god of war, that kind of thing. So they're very much self-starters, and they definitely do not like to wait for the party. They are the party. So if you can spend some time just going through self, I'm just giving your own personal note to take with you today. I think you may find some hidden gems, things you've forgotten, places you remember, and maybe some cool people that you haven't seen in a while. Say hello or just send a positive thought. Those things go a long way. Now remember, I go live once a week here on my YouTube channel. Please share, like, and subscribe. Give me some subscriptions. And like I said, we have the new program coming out, the GAP program, the guided astrology program, which I'm so proud of. And it's just weekly reports and 2 monthly lives, all through Zoom. I'm so proud. And it's only $9.99 intro price. Then it's going to go up to $29.99 monthly. But it's reoccurring, and it's like having access to me, but not in a private session, but at least you can get more insight, and I can help break down more of this information, because I feel like I can make you crazy with some of the things I'm saying. So I would like to also have opportunity to break it down and give more enlightenment. So I thank you for tuning in today. Thank you, everybody on my YouTube. Thank you, everybody on my TikTok. I do appreciate you guys. I truly, truly do. And I hope that you appreciate me. Stay blessed. Bye. Bye.